Now on WTOL 11 Plus, extreme cold and heavy snow are continuing to pound our area. Our WTOL 11 weather team is bringing you team coverage, tracking the storm, and just how much snow is still on the way. Plus, we're live on the roads as several counties in our area are now declaring a level 3 snow emergency. Plus, first responders and snowplows remain out on the roads despite the bad conditions. Coming up, how they prepare for severe weather to ensure you stay safe. Well, welcome into WTOL 11 News here on Plus. I'm Michael Sanwin. Thank you so much for joining us. Our area has not seen more than 6 inches of snow in one day since 2022, and now we're on pace to snap that record. That's why we start right away with team coverage, which start with meteorologist John Birchfield. John, what are the new weather models showing you right now?
Well, Michael, we still have a few more hours of steady snow, and those travel impacts are going to continue to be felt well into Monday. We've got a live look at Doppler radar that does show you some of the steadier snow now sliding south and east of the Maumee River. And I do think that by about 8 o'clock p.m., the snow is going to be winding down for Toledo. And if you want to check radar from the palm of your hand, scan that QR code at the side of your screen, and you can get our free WTOL 11 weather app. I'm noticing some of the heavier bands of snow that are occurring from Wyandotte County into Seneca County, Sandusky County, and Erie County. Erie and Huron counties, already under level 3 snow emergencies, are going to get hit with another burst of snow that is going to be rolling on through the area. Winter storm warnings extend for all of our northwest Ohio counties and Monroe, and those will go until 7 o'clock a.m. as we head into tomorrow. So the bigger picture, we do have snow gradually starting to taper off west of us back towards northern Indiana. There is some dry air that's starting to move in on the backside of this system as those heavier snow bands roll off towards the lakeshore counties. And check out just how many big time New England cities are going to be impacted from Boston down to New York and Washington, D.C. Winter storm warnings are also in effect. This area of low pressure is transferring its energy off towards the Atlantic seaboard, and that is going to bring the snow to a halt by about 7 to 8 o'clock this evening. Still a couple more hours of accumulating snow. However, later on this evening, we're going to see that snow end. Lingering travel impacts, though, are expected, and they're going to continue to affect your day as we head towards tomorrow. So we've got team coverage this evening with meteorologist Chris Vickers, keeping an eye on the impacts of this storm. Chris, even though most of the snow's in the rearview mirror, this is going to be a storm that continues to affect viewers well into the day tomorrow.
Yeah, John, it could very well be a storm we remember for the rest of the winter season because it is quite the whopper of a snowstorm. We expect the snow or accumulating snow in the Toledo Metro likely to be done by 8 p.m. So the next hour to 2 hours, that will be tapering off, but significant travel impacts still will remain, and school closings, I'm going to highlight more on this, they are going to be very likely across much of the area. Radar and satellite picture, John highlighted a lot of this. That East Coast transfer, that basically takes the better energy from this system, moves it off to the east, but still some really interesting stuff that's happening right now. What we call some heavier mesoscale banding that is occurring, and that is some more intense bands that are now sliding east of I-75. So here's what I've done. I've actually highlighted that area, and that's seeing that steadier snow right now. There's Toledo. You are now clear of that heavier band. I-75 and east is seeing a brief burst of snow that is going to be moving to the east and should be clear of our area in the next 60 to 90 minutes. Bottom line, we are still seeing some steadier snow pockets, and our exclusive school delay hotspot map, you're not going to see this anywhere else, only on WTOL 11, highlighting that we've got all districts in Henry County. They are closed for tomorrow. Did a check of each and every one on January 26th. Let's go up north into Fulton County. All school districts in Fulton County, you as well, are closed. And across the Toledo Metro, you may have guessed it, all school districts in the Toledo Metro are closed, with the exception, Ottawa Hills. You are on a 2-hour delay tomorrow morning, so they're going to let the kids wait that one out. Let's look at travel impacts for tonight. As John mentioned, that snow is going to stop falling, and it will be long clear of the area as we head into midnight, but roadways are still going to be very treacherous. Poor travel likely tonight, and we're going to say all the way through about daybreak tomorrow. We'll give you caution early in the morning as you look to head out of the door and get your Monday morning started. Then the bitter cold is going to be settling in. So what to expect now through Tuesday morning? We've got weather impact alert days, and very hazardous travel will be expected. The cold weather is going to be a major factor. Then beyond that, to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, highs aren't going to make it to 20 degrees till we get late next week and into the following week. where highs may briefly make it back into the mid to upper 20s. Frigid cold weather going to stay locked in place. So what we're seeing now, that snow and ice, not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. We'll have more coming up in that full 10-day forecast. Michael will send it back over to you.
All right, John and Chris, we'll see you guys in a little bit. Well, meanwhile, right now, every county in our area is under a snow emergency. Williams, Fulton, Lucas, Henry, and Wood counties are all under a level 2. That means people in those counties should only drive if necessary. Ottawa, Sandusky, Defiant, Seneca, Hancock, and Wyandotte counties are all under a level 3. Those counties are closed except for emergency personnel. And speaking of those current conditions, we have a live crew right now out on the roads. This is our crew out in North Toledo getting a look at that. You can see that the roads clearly have not been fully cleared yet. We're still waiting for plow crews to get into those more tighter neighborhoods. That might take a few more hours at the very least. So as we've mentioned at the top of the show, and we're going to continue to mention, drive slow, drive carefully, and if you don't need to be on the roads, you might as well just avoid them altogether. We're going to have a live report with our Dominique O'Neill coming up at 10 and 11, but for now, we're going to continue to check back in with the show. Well, meanwhile, those bad road conditions and the cold are causing several schools, childcare centers, and businesses to close. We've got a growing list right now on our website. Some notable closures include the Toledo Zoo, which is closed through Monday. Also closed tomorrow is Anthony Wayne Schools, Bowling Green, Toledo Public, Sylvania, Maumee, Perrysburg, and more. You can find this exact list by going over to WTOL.com and clicking on Closings and Delays at the top of the page. Also worth noting here, the University of Toledo is canceling morning classes tomorrow. The University of Findlay is canceling all classes and events tomorrow, so is Owens. So far, Bowling Green State University is still open as normal. Heavy snow and bad road conditions today is something our WTOL 11 weather team has been preparing for all week, and we've been preparing you as well. And while some people may be able to avoid the roads today, essential workers are having to go out even in a level 3. Today, Megan Hartnett caught up with Ohio State Highway Patrol officers and the Ohio Department of Transportation to see how they're handling this winter weather.
As the snow is coming down, Ohio Department of Transportation crews are out in full force.
So you'll see all of our crews out. We have 100% of our fleet that's available that is out on the roadway, but it's blades on the ground is really the best way to treat this.
Kelsey Hoagland with ODOT says the powdery snow falling sticks to the ground quicker, and because of the extreme cold, salt isn't as effective. So ODOT's goal is to scrape as much of the ice off the roads as possible.
One of the challenges that we do have is that there's a lot of wind right now, and again with that very fine snow, we push it off. It blows right back on.
ODOT crews have been out working 12-hour shifts since Saturday afternoon and will likely stay staffed through Tuesday night.
We will keep our crews on the ground until the roads are restored to normal conditions.
Officials are asking people to stay home throughout the day Sunday, but crews will be ready to help if needed.
So overnight, our troopers were out here in Northwest Ohio. We handled a handful of crashes and assisted more than 20 motorists. And we'll continue to be out there as the storm continues. Our troopers will be out there visible, ready to help the motoring public.
If you do have to head out, ODOT and Highway Patrol ask that you give yourself plenty of time and go slow.
So when you see those flashing lights, if it's a plow driver, give them room to work. Take your time. And if you see flashing lights of a first responder or trooper, just proceed with caution. You know, those people are going to be outside their vehicle, maybe helping a motorist or assisting at a crash. So we just want everyone to be safe.
But they say the best way to stay safe is staying home. Reporting in Toledo, Megan Hartnett, WTOL 11.
And this winter storm is not only impacting the road, it's also creating issues on the runway. Here's a live look at delays and cancellations at airports across the nation. Right now, more than 1,500 flights have been canceled and more than 600 are delayed. At the Detroit airport so far, 44 flights are delayed and 19 are canceled. Meanwhile, some good news right now at this hour. Very few power outages are being reported across Northwest Ohio. The latest numbers just shared within the last 10 minutes from First Energy shows there are only 27 customers without power right now. In Lucas County and in Defiance County, there are fewer than 20 outages. No other county in our area is reporting any outages as of right now. Now, in addition to the snow, we're also seeing extreme cold temperatures. The National Weather Service says when the wind chill gets this low, you can get frostbite in as little as 10 to 30 minutes outside. Now, it's most common in your fingers, toes, nose, and ears. Signs of frostbite include the loss of feeling in that area or a pale look. So to minimize frostbite, make sure all body parts are covered and limit your time outside. And if you do get frostbite, put the affected area closely against warm skin to get your blood flowing again. If your body temperature gets dangerously low, you can get hypothermia. The National Weather Service says that's the most common winter weather killer. Warning signs include uncontrollable shivering, memory loss, disorientation, slurred speech, and drowsiness. Now, if you're feeling any of these symptoms, get medical attention right away. If no help is available, warm up slowly with warm liquids, dry clothes, and blankets. With this bitter cold, we have a quick reminder for pet owners. It can be too cold for your dog to stay out long. Vets say once it's around freezing, most pets should be inside for most of the time. Adding once you're in the 20s or lower, like we are right now, it's best to keep it short with supervised outings. Now, you should watch for shivering or lifting paws and wipe their paws of road salt after walks. However, we're seeing a much different picture nationwide. Right now, hundreds of thousands of people across the country are without power. Michael Yoshida is in Washington, D.C. with the latest on this historic weather.
A monster winter storm stretching from Texas up to Maine is causing treacherous travel conditions. More than 200 million people are under winter storm alerts, and multiple states have declared a state of emergency. In some areas like Washington, D.C., it's a dangerous mix of both snow and sleet.
It's switched over to sleet, which is going to compact the snow, make it a little bit denser, which is harder to push.
Some areas of the Northeast could see up to 2 feet of snow by Monday. New York City is expected to get over a foot.
It is brutal, it is bone-chilling, and it is dangerous.
The brutal conditions have caused stretches of interstates across the country to close. The governor of Oklahoma says some areas of his state have been slammed with 11 inches of snow so far.
We got more in a 24-hour period than we've ever had in the last, I think, like 40 years.
In other parts of the country, it's the ice and bitter cold causing serious concern. A water main break near a highway outside Charlotte, North Carolina, encasing power lines and street and ice. And in Tennessee, this woman taking a photo of her driveway and street glazed over.
Completely frozen.
The other big concern is the frigid temperatures, making it harder for crews to treat the roads.
When you get down that cold, the steel in the shocks and stuff like that, it gets brittle and you can damage the vehicles.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Well, coming up, snow is continuing for a few more hours, the heaviest occurring south and east. An additional 1 to 2 inches going to be likely with major travel impacts, and also Arctic cold returning as we head towards a quieter January pattern. And we are looking at those conditions that'll be turning even colder. There's a live look at that Elk and Elk downtown sky camera that is showing you conditions that are still treacherous across the area. And Arctic cold is expected to continue likely for the next 5 to 7 days, if not a bit longer, with temperatures that'll largely be in the 20s, just gradually starting to warm things up. So you do want to get that free WTOL 11 weather app. It has a look at our hour-by-hour forecast that is going to be showing you snow that'll be continuing for a few more hours, finally tapering off by about 8 o'clock as we look at that hourly forecast. Light snow continuing through 8 p.m. and temperatures expected to be in the teens overnight. Now, we do have an additional long-form stream coming up at 6:30 p.m. and you can also check our free WTOL 11 weather app by getting that app and scanning the QR code off to the side of your screen. So where's the snow right now? It is exiting to the east gradually. There are still some pockets of heavier accumulating snow that are ongoing south and east of the Maumee River, and a number of school districts already canceling the night before as a result of this winter weather, including almost every single district across Lucas County, and some counties, every single school district is already closed. Now, there is some heavier banding of snow that is occurring southeast of the river. Locations from Wyandotte County up towards Seneca County, Erie and Huron counties. That is where some of the heaviest snow is coming on down, and there are expected to still be a few additional hours of some heavy snow, especially with that band of snow that is racing to the east. Winter storm warnings still in effect until 7 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning, so I do expect conditions that'll remain poor overnight and into the start of your Monday morning commute, with the exception of Hillsdale and Lenawee counties that are under winter weather advisories. Every single Ohio County and Monroe County under those winter storm warnings. The bigger picture, there is some drier air starting to work in back towards Fort Wayne and even far northwest Ohio, with Williams and Defiance counties that are going to be seeing the snow come to a pause within the next couple of hours. All that heavier snow is now exiting off to the east of I-75. Now, across the region, winter storm warnings at play from Maine all the way back towards Indiana and Illinois, as well as Kentucky. A number of states states feeling the wrath of this winter storm that is exiting off towards New England, and many of those New England cities are seeing heavy snow with this one, from Boston down towards New York, and a messy mix in Washington, D.C., and a swath of very heavy snow across interior New England is also ongoing. So the hour-by-hour forecast, 7 p.m., I-75 and eastward continuing to see snow, still could be coming down heavily near the lakeshore, but after 7 o'clock, areas west of I-75 seeing that snow come to an end. Snowfall is going to be winding down by about 9 o'clock across the board. So how much additional snowfall can you expect? Well, across the metro, an additional ½ inch is likely, although the vast majority of the snow from this system is now in the rearview mirror. That heavier band of snow east still could produce another 1 to 2 inches in locations from Ottawa County down towards Erie and Huron counties, but the vast majority of the snow is now done for the evening. Travel conditions remain poor for the remainder of the evening, so stay home if at all possible. And then as we head towards the morning commute, things are still going to be nasty if you're out early. By late morning, we do start to see some degree of improvement, but I would still urge you to exercise caution out on those roads, as we do have conditions that are expected to be rather hazardous. Snowy roadways remain in effect this evening. Slippery conditions likely for that morning commute, and it is still going to be slick as we head towards the evening, and we'll call it a yellow light for travel. In other words, there are still going to be some slippery conditions, but the vast majority of locations going to be seeing some degree of improvement. Now, looking at our temperature map, we are down in the single digits with sub-zero wind chills, and that is going to be another impact that we continue to track. We've got team coverage this evening with meteorologist Chris Vickers, and even though the storm is going to be winding down this evening, boy, those impacts are going to continue into the week. Chris.
John, they are going to continue, and we've got numerous counties right here under the level 3 snow emergency. John, we'd have to go back until about February of 2022 till we actually had a storm of this magnitude. So let's take you right here into the Weather Impact Alert Center, and we've really kind of elevated this one to a level 5 out of 5. It's a rare type of storm that has brought major impacts to the area. It is a significant winter storm, and in the end, widespread totals are going to come in. We're going to have those numbers. We're going to be calculating who saw the most snow between now and the evening newscast tonight. 6 to 10 inches of snow is what we've been experiencing across much of the area, and what will still continue a little bit of blowing snow. I'm not raising alarm bells on this, but even a gust of wind of about 10 to 15 up to 20 miles per hour will blow a little bit of this powdery snow around. So here's where we stand right now. Latest county to be added to a level 3 snow emergency, that is Williams County, also Defiance County, a level 3 snow emergency. That is now in addition to Hancock County, Wyandotte County, Seneca, Sandusky, Ottawa, Erie, and Huron. If I named your county out, you are under a level 3 snow emergency. So some poor travel is still going to be expected, and you're going to hear about this across the nation. They had a major ice storm across parts of the southeast. It is still ice and sleet across parts of the Carolinas. Back towards Charlotte, Atlanta had major impacts. Parts of Tennessee, northern Alabama, and Mississippi. There's been communities that were devastated by significant ice. Now, we are on the tail end of this system, and as John mentioned, much of that snow is going to be done falling between now and about 8 p.m. across the area. East Coast, they're going to get hammered tonight into tomorrow, so major travel impacts. And I'll tell you this, if you're going to be on the go, right there, you can scan that free WTOL 11 weather app. You pull your phone out right now, you can scan it. We're going to get you connected with all the latest weather information, no matter where you are across the country. There's the steadiest of the snow starting to collapse the back edge of it. Heaviest of the snow is going to be moving to the east, but we're going to have widespread issues as far as travel and impacts to our exclusive school delay hotspot map. Look at all the red that's showing up. In fact, I've got 69 school districts that are now actively closed for tomorrow, and a couple districts, 4 of them that have chosen a delay, one of them being Ottawa Hills, but most saying, you know what, we're not even going to chance it for tomorrow. We're just going to go ahead and close school. We're not done there. We've got weather impact alert days that will continue for the extreme cold. We get one more lobe of Arctic air down Monday to Tuesday, yet another one midweek Wednesday and into Thursday. That'll keep our highs locked in the teens. It is going to be downright frigid as we go through much of my 10-day forecast. Really no relief from the cold in sight. This is going to be a pattern that is just going to be locked into the winter chill. Highs of the teens for Monday, for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You may be thinking, when are we going to get some relief from this cold? Not much out there as we go through that 10-day forecast. We barely make it back into the 20s as we get into early next week, still well over a week away to get highs back into the mid to upper 20s. We appreciate you following along here with the WTOL 11 weather. weather team. John and I are going to continue to monitor those conditions tonight and make sure everyone is safe and prepared with all the latest information. Michael, we'll send it back over to you.
All right. Thanks, Chris and John. We really appreciate you guys putting in your effort today. Well, if you've not already, right now is the perfect time to download the WTOL 11 weather app right to your phone. Here's a look at what you'll see inside. You get access to an interactive radar, hourly forecast, traffic alerts, and custom weather update videos from Chris, John, and the rest of our WTOL 11 weather team. All of that and more right on your phone wherever you go. Our WTOL 11 weather app is completely free, and it's on your app store right now. Now let's go ahead and get a look at the roads. Dominique O'Neill is out there right now on I-280. Dominique, what have you been seeing? Talk to me about what kind of levels of safety that you're participating and other people are on the road right now.
Yes, Michael, right now the roads are very rough to drive on. And right now we're headed towards I-280. So far, I can tell you that, just take a look at the roads right now. Everything it's not good to be on the roads right now. We've seen crews out on the roads constantly. Some side streets that I was on earlier, they weren't plowed yet. And right now, currently, like I said, we're headed towards I-280 right now. Conditions have been really bad. Officials are urging people to not be on the roads at this time. And I can tell you that right now we're making a turn onto I-280 right now on the bridge. And right now the bridge so far is slippery. We're traveling about 20 miles an hour right now. We're doing that because the roads are really bad, and when we're making the turns, it's been kind of rough. And I can tell you that we're going to continue to stay on top of the roads and the conditions as we go along through the evening. We'll send it back to you, Michael.
Well, right now, road crews are continuing to plow the streets, including I-280, and put down salt to melt away the ice. But how does it work, and could your kitchen salt be just as effective? Jeff Smith is with the Imagination Station's chief scientist, Carl Nelson, to put it to the test.
So another one of those things you hear this time of the year. We've been talking about the Ohio Department of Transportation, the city crews. They're all out there. They're looking for rock salt to put down in the roadways to make travel safer. And you said, Carl, there is real science behind how this stuff helps us stay safe on the road.
Absolutely. Let's go right to what you're thinking.
Okay.
I have some table salt, some sodium chloride. Go ahead and sprinkle a little bit on this side of this slab of ice.
Just right here?
Yeah, this is like our roadway. This is some ice on the road. Now, when you talk about...
How much?
I think that's pretty good. That's
I feel like we're making a recipe here.
Yeah. So when you talk about salt, there's actually a couple of different kinds of salts that they put on the roads. Now, you mentioned rock salt or sodium chloride. Whenever you have a surface that's frozen with ice, there's always a thin layer on the top that is made up of water.
And this is just a simple sheet of ice, right?
I just froze this in our freezer, right?
Yeah.
You add the salt on top, that thin layer of water allows those ions, the sodium and the chloride, to dissolve into the water. And basically the simplest answer is what happens is they interfere with the ability of the water molecules to form a regular ice crystal, a lattice.
Yeah.
They just interfere. And so this is called freezing point depression. And with sodium chloride, that works well maybe to like 15 degrees above 0 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Now, today, this week, this month, we're well below that, right? Mm-hmm. So you need a different tactic or a different compound. And that could be calcium chloride.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and sprinkle that on the other side.
I'll
do it on the other side,
yeah, right over here on this side.
So you'll often hear, if you buy rock salt, it'll have sodium chloride. Ice melt will often have calcium chloride in it.
Yeah.
And what happens here is the calcium chloride can actually work down to 25 below 0 Fahrenheit. And a more subtle way to think about this, other than just hand waving and say it interferes with the lattice, is that when those ions get ripped apart, sodium chloride, calcium chloride, that takes energy. You gotta rip those things apart. Okay, so you gotta put energy in, but once they're loose, floating around in that solution, the water molecules start to surround them. It's called hydration. And that's a lower energy, it's a happy spot for the ions. And that gives off heat. If we add those two numbers together, the energy to rip it apart plus the energy to let them relax, if it's a positive, it'll give off heat. And if you look at this up close, you can see like these little calcium chloride spheres.
It's down inside the ice.
Just down inside the ice.
Yeah.
In fact, that calcium chloride gives off a tremendous amount of heat. Here, let me give you this. That's calcium chloride inside there. This is a little bag filled with water. I'm gonna put that in, seal up the bag. I'm going to do a little experiment. This is actually how you could make a hand warmer at home with your ice melt.
Okay.
So I'm going to, just because it can get messy,
Yeah.
I'm going to put it inside a secondary bag. We're going to seal that up. And now I just want you to smash it really hard with your fist,
Okay.
so we can break that inner water bag and the two chemicals can mix.
Okay.
Good smash. Perfect. Now pick it up and mix it around. Describe how that feels.
It's getting warmer. It's getting warmer. Yeah, it's borderline. I mean, if you're making hot tea, it's about that temperature right now.
It's going to get to the point where it could be uncomfortable to hold. That release of heat energy is what makes the calcium chloride so much more effective.
Yeah.
It's because you can even see our sodium chloride not doing a whole lot. I mean, a little bit. Over here, we're actually melting through and releasing some liquid water.
Wow. And this is to the point, this is like pretty hot.
Yeah. Now, calcium chloride's more expensive, so when the road crews go out, if they can afford it, they'll do the sodium chloride because it's cheaper. Right. But if temperatures get too low, this is ineffective. We might step up to calcium chloride, even magnesium chloride, which is even more expensive than this. So there's a trade-off in terms of cost and effectiveness and at what temperature it works.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, meanwhile, we're getting some amazing weather photos sent into our newsroom tonight from all of you at home. Let's go ahead and take a look at some. We got this one from Miss Cookie May, or rather, this is a photo of Morgan from Rochelle. This is a photo of her beautiful dog in the snow. Looks like everyone was sending photos of their dogs. These are some beautiful photos of some very, very, well, these pups don't look so happy, but the rest of them looked pretty happy. And there we go. There's a snow angel. That's Hayden from Findlay making a snow angel there. We got Luna maybe dipping her snout in the snow. I gotta say, everyone really wanted to show us their dogs in the snow, Chris and John. I gotta say, it's cute. Maybe I wanted some more photos of people playing outside. This is great, though. This is really great. I'm loving these photos, really seeing some beautiful views.
Love it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, Side Cut Metro Park, the locks there, gorgeous.
That's stunning.
Did your cat want to go out in the snow, Michael?
You know what? If it's like 20 degrees and up, he's curious. But the moment I opened the door, he made a beeline in the opposite direction. Now, this is great.
Sledding in Perrysburg.
You know, let's put this in perspective, too, because there are some kids out there or puppies out there that haven't seen snow like this.
That's true.
Perhaps in their lifetime or that they can remember, because it's been 4 years, so younger kids really haven't had the experience of a major snow event like this. Us adults, we've been through winter storms like this before, but boy, these kids are really just loving it. And look at that. This is what it's about. I know my neighborhood was really busy, kids coming around shoveling driveways.
Nice.
And I said, go for it. Light, fluffy snow, so it wasn't really kind of putting them to test.
Yeah.
See, they think they're doing something fun, but they're really doing us all a favor.
Exactly.
They are. Yeah, certainly good. Sledding snow, maybe not the best for making snowballs there.
Yeah, well, listen, we still want more photos. We got plenty more shows to go through tonight, so please text us your photos at 419-248-1100. We want to see more pups, more kids. We want to see everything you want to send our way.
Yeah, and we do want to get one last check at radar as well, followed off by the 10-day forecast. And don't go anywhere, because coming up just after this, we have more exclusive live streaming content. That'll be on our YouTube page as well as on WTOL 11+. And in that, we'll take a deeper dive into some of the data as well as what you can expect. So here's radar right now. You will notice some dry air is quickly moving in on the backside of this storm. There is still some light snow across the metro, but that 7 to 8 p.m. end time is still looking on point for Toledo, although that heavier band of snow that you see off towards Erie and Huron counties, that could still drop another inch or more of quick accumulation. Our weather impact alert day continues tomorrow, and many school districts, if not most, opting to close already preemptively as a result of those lingering impacts. Tuesday morning also going to be an alert day, as we do have some significant cold that's going to blow through the area, and frankly, it's going to be a cold week ahead. There's not going to be as much wind to contend with necessarily, but those air temperatures are going to get downright frigid, and could see a few scattered snow showers by next Monday and Tuesday. It's going to take a bit to, shall we say, even warm up to the 20s. So keep that winter coat handy. Going to be a frigid weather outlook, and we've got Defender also live. We'll have some additional shots from Defender coming up tonight at 10 and 11. Certainly looks like many of those roadways still very much snow covered, and use caution, especially on those back roads that haven't been treated. Some of the major roadways are at least passable, but with some of those snow drifts in the country as well, many roads going to be downright impassable.
Yeah, a lot of those counties in the country still under level 3. So if you don't need to leave home, please just stay inside, sit by the fire. This is the perfect opportunity to get a cup of cocoa and watch us.
And send us photos of your dogs.
Yeah.
Exactly. If that's all you're going to be doing, hanging in tonight, we appreciate that. And as John mentioned, we're going to continue our coverage here on WTOL 11 Plus. That's where we dive really deep into what's going on weather-wise, and hope everybody sticks around for that. And stay safe tonight.
All right, everybody. We'll take care, and we'll see you again tonight at 11.